Ancient Egypt, a land where majestic pyramids were not just architectural wonders, but part of a complex and well thought out economic system. We all know about the great pharaohs, their authoritarian rule, and their incredible achievements in construction. But have you ever wondered how the economy of this ancient civilization allowed for the building of such grand structures that have lasted millennia? What resources, what efforts, and what mechanisms enabled the ancient Egyptians to erect these giant pyramids? Why was it not just wealth, but human labor and a taxation system that played such a crucial role? Today, we will explore how ancient Egypt's economy, based on agriculture, taxation, and craftsmanship, supported the construction of these monumental structures. Prepare to dive into a world where economy and architecture intertwine, creating wonders that could be called not only symbols of Egypt, but also of world heritage. So, how did Egypt's economy support the building of the pyramids? Let's find out. Chapter 1: Economy of Ancient Egypt. The economy of ancient Egypt was primarily based on agriculture, with the Nile River playing a crucial role in the life of the Egyptians. The fertile lands along the river allowed them to grow crops and sustain the population, while also supporting grand projects like the construction of the pyramids. Agriculture was the backbone of Egypt's economy. Farmers grew crops like wheat, barley, and flax, which were vital for food and trade. The pharaohs imposed taxes on these crops, which were collected as a form of currency. Trade also played a significant role in Egypt's economy. Egypt exchanged goods like grain, papyrus, and linen with neighboring civilizations along the Mediterranean, such as the Phoenicians and Mesopotamians. Pharaohs controlled the land and its resources. They distributed the wealth from taxes and trade to fund the construction of monumental projects like the pyramids and temples, ensuring their rule and legacy. While the economy was built on agriculture and trade, the labor force, including skilled artisans and engineers, were vital in turning the pharaohs' visions into reality. They crafted the stones and managed the construction of monumental buildings. Thus, Egypt's economy, rooted in agriculture, trade, and skilled labor, supported the construction of the pyramids. This intricate system of resource distribution enabled the creation of one of the most remarkable civilizations in history. Chapter 2: Building the Pyramids. The construction of the pyramids was not just a technical achievement, but a massive economic project that required precise planning and resources. So, how did the pharaohs organize such a grand endeavor? To build a pyramid, the first step was choosing the right location where the land would be stable enough for such heavy structures. Architects and pharaohs meticulously planned the pyramid's placement, taking into account the sun, stars, and even religious symbolism. Once the site was selected, the next phase was gathering materials. The pyramid was built from copper tools, sandstone, and granite, all sourced from different quarries across Egypt. One of the most challenging aspects of pyramid construction was moving and lifting the massive stone blocks. Using wooden sleds and rollers, the workers worked in harmony to transport the stones over long distances. Once the stones were transported to the construction site, workers began stacking the blocks, gradually raising the pyramid. This was an incredibly labor-intensive process that required precision and coordination. When the main structure of the pyramid was complete, the final step was to finish the exterior. The pyramid was covered in smooth limestone slabs, giving it a polished and majestic appearance, especially under the sunlight. It's important to note that craftsmen, engineers, and architects played a critical role in ensuring the pyramid was built with precision. Without their knowledge and skill, creating such monumental structures would have been impossible. When the pyramids were finally completed, they became not only grand monuments, but also symbols of power, might, and divine grandeur. The majesty of these structures continues to inspire awe to this day. Chapter 3: Pyramids as Symbols of Power. The pyramids were not just monumental tombs for the pharaohs, but powerful symbols of their authority and divine status. The construction of these grand structures demonstrated the pharaoh's ability to command resources and labor. asserting their connection to the gods. Each pyramid was not only a tomb for the pharaoh, but a declaration of his inviolability and divine right to rule. The building of these massive structures was a political act, showcasing the pharaoh's power to organize and control a vast workforce. The pyramids also served as religious monuments, reflecting the pharaoh's connection to the gods. Egyptians believed that pharaohs were living gods, and the pyramids were part of their journey to immortality. Building the pyramids also strengthened the pharaoh's power in the eyes of his people. These grand monuments were proof of his greatness and authority. The pyramids also played an important role in Egyptian culture. These structures became an inseparable part of Egypt's identity and inspired the creation of other monumental buildings throughout Egypt and in other lands. And so, the pyramids became eternal symbols of the pharaoh's power, their divine authority, and immortality. These monuments remain not just physical objects, but cultural and political symbols that continue to inspire us to this day. Chapter 4: The Legacy of Egypt. The pyramids and Egypt's economy left an indelible mark on history. Egypt's architectural and economic achievements inspired civilizations far beyond its borders, shaping the development of both architecture and economic practices in later cultures. Egypt's monumental architecture, especially the pyramids, inspired architectural advancements in ancient civilizations. Many cultures adopted Egypt's design principles in their own monumental buildings, including the Greeks and Romans. The economic systems of Egypt, particularly its taxation and trade practices, influenced the development of similar systems in other ancient civilizations. Egypt's model of resource distribution became a foundation for future economic structures. The cultural legacy of Egypt, with its rich mythology, art, and scientific achievements, resonated throughout history. Egyptian influences can be seen in later art, literature, and even in modern culture today. Even today, Egypt's legacy continues to shape the world. From architecture to economics, ancient Egyptian achievements continue to influence modern societies, reminding us of the enduring power of their civilization. The legacy of Egypt, particularly its monumental architecture and economic systems, has left an indelible mark on the world. Today, we continue to look back at Egypt's achievements as a source of inspiration and admiration. Chapter 5: Egypt's Economy and Modern Parallels. Although thousands of years have passed, the economic systems of ancient Egypt laid the foundation for many practices we see in modern economies. The methods of taxation, resource management, and trade developed in Egypt influenced the economic structures of later civilizations and still impact us today. In ancient Egypt, taxation was based on agricultural produce. Farmers were required to pay a portion of their crops as taxes to the pharaoh. This system ensured that resources were collected efficiently and could be redistributed for state projects, like pyramid construction. Resource management in Egypt was highly organized. The pharaohs controlled the distribution of grain, labor, and raw materials. This centralized control ensured that the economy remained stable, allowing for large-scale projects and military campaigns. Modern taxation systems, like income tax and sales tax, share many similarities with the ancient Egyptian system. Both are designed to fund the government's initiatives, from infrastructure to social services. Many modern economic systems are inspired by Egypt's centralized and highly organized economy. From resource management to trade systems, ancient Egypt's innovations paved the way for future generations to create even more complex economic models. The legacy of Egypt's economy is still felt today. From tax systems to resource management and global trade, the ancient Egyptians laid the foundation for the economic systems that sustain modern civilization.